Hello, Internet. Welcome to another channel update. We're going to talk a little bit about the channel first, and then we're going to talk about my personal life, and we're going to talk about the goals that I've set for myself. Because usually I talk about very sad, depressing crap, and I thought, why not spin things a little bit more positive? I do have some good news. On top of setting some goals for myself, I have actual good news. So, regarding the channel, you probably noticed I'm putting up some Cataclysm content, but it's not every day like it normally would. This is a problem. You know, I've conditioned you over the course of the last 2 years to expect daily content. In fact, oh, by the way, the bells are chiming. I don't know if you can hear them or not. Sorry about that. It's that time of day, and the church bells are going. So, yeah, I've conditioned you, my audience, for the whole time that I've been, doing this and recording. I've put up daily content. There have been a day or two where I missed, a day here and there, but it's never been because of a lack of recording. It's always been because, like, I forget to set a video or whatever. I usually try really hard to be upfront, clear when I'm going to miss a day, that sort of thing. So, people expect daily content. And in fact, for a large percent of the time that I've been doing the channel, we've been having 2 videos a day, or 3 even sometimes. And that, unfortunately, is just not feasible at the moment. So I've been recording every day or two. I've been able to record a single episode and then put it out there. So you, unfortunately, can expect a video every other day at best, and maybe every 3 days when things are a little bit more rough. This is mostly due to my brother, who is in the house, by the way, so I can't really talk about it like I normally would. But it's been very difficult to find time for recording because I feel like every time I record, it antagonizes him, and he, has all these delusions about being recorded. So a lot of times he will come out and stand right outside my door and just listen to me record because he's listening to me. And it's super weird because, like, when I do YouTube, I'm very comfortable with my audience, and I feel comfortable talking to you about a lot of things. I'm a very open, transparent kind of guy. But when it comes to him, I don't really want him to know what I'm talking about. So it makes me super uncomfortable, and then I don't, I end up pausing for a really long time, or I just straight up stop recording. So it's been really difficult to find time. And the way it's been going is, like, they will leave the house usually in the evenings for like a half an hour. And so I can sit down and bang out one, 30-minute video. And then usually they're home right at the end of the video, and it kind of works out. Problem is, that's really not very much content, and it doesn't happen every day. So I can't really maintain that schedule. So for the channel update, you're going to get some sporadic content for right now, but it's better than we were doing, 2 weeks ago when there was 2 videos a week or something like that. So it is progress. It's just very slow progress. Personal updates. Well, mostly things with my brother are still not great, and things are still rough around the house. He's currently sick. And he's coughing a lot, and I suspect he has coronavirus. And I've been saying since this whole thing started that he would be the one who brings it into the household and gives it to our whole family. But I'm hoping I'm wrong about that, and hopefully it's not a big deal and it's just a cold or something. But so that's the current fear in the household, as well as all of the other tension that we've been talking about for the last couple of weeks. And I've been real depressed personally. I've been feeling real terrible. I can't do YouTube. Mostly for the reasons I've already explained. And it's like such a key part of my schedule. For the last 2 years, almost every day, I've worked on YouTube in some capacity. It is a very important part of my routine, something that I got used to doing every day, something that I enjoy doing, and now I'm not doing it, and it feels super, super weird. Because I have nothing to do all day. I just sit here sometimes. And I bought a tablet, so I've been playing mobile games when I have nothing to do. Playing Raid Shadow Legends, which is super pay to win, but they're not getting a penny from me, so I'm just gonna play it when I can to have a little bit of fun. Anyway, so like I end up sitting at the house most of the day, and I don't have anything to do because, like, I can't record. And I started to get real depressed because I wasn't doing anything, and it's super destabilizing. It's kind of like, when you have a job for 40 years and then you quit your job and retire, it's super weird. It's a transition. Or even like people my age, you work every day. I've been working every day basically for a long time, and then you take a vacation or something and you're off for like, 4 days or whatever, and you're like, I just kind of want to work. It's super weird. I don't have my routine, and it's super jarring, and it's bizarre. So I've been feeling a lot of that, and I started to get really, really depressed because I'm not progressing in my life. I'm very much stagnating at the moment. And I started to think, and the holidays, oh my God, the Thanksgiving was terrible. I don't know if I've mentioned this, but like Thanksgiving was the worst. Black Friday and Thanksgiving is the worst time of year for my job, and I probably worked 13 and a half hours on Wednesday or Thursday or something like that. It was absolutely terrible. And I got really upset, and I've been depressed, so I was like, I don't want to do this anymore. I want to quit my job, but I can't, right? I can't afford to quit my job, and frankly, I'm not in a position. See, like right there, I had to put a cut in because my brother walked by and is just standing out there listening to me. So I'm not in a position to quit my job, but I decided, by this time next year, I would like to be in a position where I'm earning money from my other endeavors. I don't need to be full-time. I don't expect to be full-time by this time next year. It's a little too lofty of a goal. But I expect to be earning something, right? I would like by this time next year, mark my words, November 2021, I want to have the business established. I want to be set up for YouTube ad revenue. I want to have a Patreon set up, and I want to have at least one ebook available on Amazon. That's my goal for this time next year. So I set that. That's a long-term goal. It's not something I'm going to accomplish anytime soon. But I was so fed up with work, and I've been doing nothing with my time. So I was like, what can I do right now to start moving towards, building a future of some sort? And the answer was to write and to work on an ebook. And did a lot of brainstorming, did a lot of thinking. So what I plan to do, I have a plan for a YouTube series. So this will be on YouTube. It will be kind of like what we did with my writing earlier, where I released that. There was Halloween. I released that little video where I just read you a short piece I wrote about hagstones, which if you haven't seen it, and a lot of people haven't, you should check that out. It's called Why I'm Afraid of Rocks, and it's a short little Halloween story. And I'm not a voice actor or anything, but I had plans to do a Cataclysm-based series around storytelling, which is something I wanted to do all the way back when I first started the channel. So I was like, right now I'm not doing anything. I have all this free time where I can't actually record, but I can do other stuff. So I was like, why don't we work on getting that off the ground? Plus, once that's finished, that series is finished, I think the written script of it can be easily converted into something I could publish as an ebook. So normally I don't give a lot of details about my projects because they fall through a lot, and I don't want people to nag me about them and be like, oh, remember when you said you were going to do this and then you didn't do it? So I'm hesitant to give like super detail, but I've been working on that, and so far it looks pretty good, and I'm pretty excited about it. So I have some short-term goals, which is to work on that project. I have some long-term goals, which is to get myself some money by this time next year. And yeah, I don't expect to be able to quit my job this time next year, but I would like to be making a supplemental income so that I feel a little bit more comfortable. Because currently I hate my job, mostly because I do a lot of work sometimes and I don't really get paid for it very much. And that's been very frustrating. So I think if I had other income coming in, I would care a lot less about the work I do because I would be getting compensated better, if that makes sense. I don't know if that makes sense, but it makes sense to me. So, and then I got some actual good news. This was yesterday, I think. My boss called me, and I've been doing a lot of complaining at my job lately. Thanksgiving and Black Friday were very stressful. A lot of us that work there were very upset with the company's inability to handle things professionally, which we're not going to go into detail about because, one, I don't really want people knowing where I work, but also, I don't know if work found out. It doesn't matter. I don't want to shit on my work too much. But basically, I've been complaining, and so have other people, and we've been kind of giving the company grief. They don't really pay us a very good wage. We don't really get benefits. We definitely don't get time off or anything like that. In fact, if I take a day off, I actually have to find my own replacement, which is ludicrous. But that's one of the benefits of them hiring us as independent contractors is that they don't have to treat us like employees, which is what we're seeing with the gig economy. By the way, if you've been following the Uber and Lyft stuff about workers' rights and things, my company's been doing that a whole lot longer than Uber and Lyft, and no one ever did anything about it because everyone's a coward and no one wants to unionize. But anyway, so my boss called me and told me I'm getting a raise because I guess the squeaky wheel gets the grease, because I'm one of the most vocal people there. When they mistreat us, I'm very quick to... I have a strong sense of right and wrong, and I really hate, when companies take advantage of people. So I'm very mouthy sometimes, and I don't have a lot of respect for the higher-ups. So, like, they don't want to mouth off to me. I'll mouth off right back, and it turns into a whole thing. And what are they going to do? They're going to fire me? Well, it's like, you can't fire me just because I believe we should be a union, and it would definitely spin into... It doesn't matter. Anyway, I got a raise. Allegedly, I'm getting a raise. Although last time they told me I was getting a raise, it's the whole thing. The company, I don't want to ramble about it. Anyway, I'm getting a raise. It's not a ton of money, but it certainly will make me more comfortable. It's a pretty hefty raise as far as like percentage-wise, but it's still not really a living wage. But it's definitely something, especially with my frustrations lately. And with the unemployment benefits the way they were with coronavirus, people were making 3 times as much money as I was. I was out there working every day in the middle of coronavirus, going into stores, being around other people. For part of my job, I got no hazard pay, and they paid me trash. And then there were people who got to sit at home on unemployment who were making 3 times as much money as me. And I'm not saying they were just sitting at home like, oh, it's a fun vacation. I know that it's not. I know coronavirus has put a lot of people's homes and businesses at risk. But it still a super feels bad when I'm literally out there exposing myself to coronavirus for less money than the people who are at home, sitting at home. So really happy to get a raise. It's probably the best news I've gotten all year, which should illustrate to you how sad my life is. But yeah, getting a raise, and that's pretty dope. So there's some good news. I have set some goals for myself, things I want to work towards. But the content right now is going to continue being dry. I would love to get back to daily videos. It feels so bad putting up a video every other day. It just rubs me the wrong way. That's not how I feel like the channel should be. So hopefully we can move back to daily content soon. But for now, it's one of those situations where it's kind of like, just be glad there's something, like I'm glad I can even put out anything right now. So yeah, everybody, I think that's a wrap for this episode. My brother is very moving around the house, and it makes me feel weird recording, so let's just wrap it up and be done with it. Thanks so much for watching. Hopefully everyone's been okay with things. I know I've been pushing a lot of your patience by not being around, and now that I am recording Cataclysm, I am seeing how out of practice I am. I'm noticing a lot of issues with the recordings, but like hopefully it's okay. So everybody, thanks for being here, thanks for listening, and I will be back with something in the near future. See you next time.